press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome to history class. In the last period we discussed what did liberal nationalism stand for. We have discussed in the way of middle class politically and economically. These are all, and then we have discussed the one of the example of economically interests of German states, and next what were the factors which led to the development of nationalism among the German countries. Next, in this session we are going to discuss a new conservatism after 1815. A new conservatism after 1815. First we need to understand what is conservatism. What is conservatism? A conservatism is a political philosophy. A conservatism is a political philosophy that stressed the importance of tradition. The importance of tradition, established institutions and customs, and prepared gradual development to quick change. What is conservatism? A conservatism is a political philosophy that stressed the importance of tradition and established institution and customs and preferred gradual development to quick change. That means this is one of the political philosophy. It is stressed. Yadಕ್ಕೆ stress ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು? The importance of tradition. They did not want modernization. They wanted tradition. Tradition, which means they wanted absolutist monarchy. And next, established institution and customs. Established institution and customs means they wanted church, and they wanted privileged society. They wanted estate system. These are all called institution, and prepared gradual development, not sudden development. Quick change anta kannadu nidaanavagi agಬೇಕಾಯಿತು, not sudden development. Okay, let us continue. Following the defeat of Napoleon in 1815. How was Napoleon defeated? Napoleon was defeated by the Union of Europeans, four powers of Union European, in the Waterloo battle in the era of 1815. When was Napoleon defeated? 1815. Between whom did Battle of Waterloo? Between whom did it take place? One side Napoleon, another one side Prussia, England, Russia, Austria. Those four members, they were called as the four unions of Europeans. They defeated the Napoleon in 1815. After the defeat of 1815 Napoleon, European governments were driven by the spirit of conservatism. They wanted change, everything. It was made by Napoleon. He changed the entire Europe. Just you have to imagine this is Europe. Just you have to imagine this is Europe. Entire, he merged the boundaries, he changed all boundaries because Napoleon attacked. When he attacked the state, it was ruled by Napoleon. He changed the boundary of entire Europe, and he made German as 360 states. It was converted into 39 states, as we discussed in the last class. That was called as unification of Rhine. European governments were driven by a spirit of conservatism. Conservatism believed that established traditional institutions of state and society. They believed that the conservatisms. What is conservatism? Conservatism is a political philosophy that stressed the importance of tradition, established institutions and customs, and prepared gradual development to quick change. Those who followed the conservatism, they were called as conservatives. Those who were conservatives, the Metternich of Austria, the president of Austria, Metternich, the president of Austria, the France, sorry, the Prussia, and next to Russia, Tsar dynasty. These are all called conservatives. They always believed that, ಅವರು ಏನು ನಂಬ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, that established traditional institutions. They always believed that traditional institutions, they always believed traditional institutions. What was the traditional institution? State and society like the monarchy. They wanted monarchy system. Next one is church, and next one is social hierarchies. Social hierarchies. Okay. The first one is they wanted, let us break one by one. They wanted traditional institution of state and society like the monarchy. What is monarchy? A monarchy is a system of administration. The king, he was not ruled by any rules and regulations. And next they wanted the church. They wanted church as a religious representative, representative institution. And next social hierarchies. Next they wanted social hierarchies and family. Next point is property and the family should be preserved. Property and family should be preserved. The first one is, what was what did conservatives believe that? They believed that the first one is the monarchy system, the church, the social hierarchies, which means ನಾವಾಗತಳು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಗ, ನಮ್ಮ ಆಗತಳು ಅವನ ಮಗ, ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಬೇಕು. The power which should be gained by chronological order, that was called as social hierarchies. Property, their property and family should be preserved. The property and family should be preserved, should not be hijacked by any others, should not be catched by others, should not be attacked by others. They wanted to preserve their property and family. Okay na? What did they believe? The first one is monarchy, church, social hierarchies, property and family should be preserved. Most conservatives, there are number of conservatives over there: Austria, France, German, Russia, and many England. Most of the conservatives, they wanted to change. ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಹಂಗಾದ್ರೆ? ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ however did not propose return society to the pre-revolutionary days. Pre-revolutionary days, which means before 1799 in France, which was ruled by absolutist monarchy. They did not want, most of the conservatives did not propose. ಅವರು ಪ್ರಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಏನು ಪ್ರಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ? They did not want absolutist monarchy. It was practiced before the French revolutionary during days. Okay, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. And next, rather they realized from the changes initiated by Napoleon. There are number of changes which was made by Napoleon. Rather than, ಅದರ ಬದಲಾಗಿ, the changes initiated by Napoleon, that modernization could in fact strengthen traditional institution like the monarchy. This modernization, which modernization? Whatever the changes which was initiated by Napoleon, this modernization could in fact strengthen traditional institution like the monarchy. It could make state power more effective and strong. This modernization could strengthen, ಅಂದರೆ monarchy system ನ strength ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ modernization. This modernization could in fact strengthen traditional institution like monarchy. It could make state power more effective and strong. How did they make? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಹಂಗಾದ್ರೆ? ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಹಂಗಾದ್ರೆ? The first one is a modern army. They wanted modern army, not old army. They wanted, point number one, they wanted a modern army. Modern army. The second point is a modern army, efficient bureaucracy. An efficient bureaucracy. Efficient. Bureaucracy. An efficient bureaucracy. The third point is a dynamic economy. Dynamic economy. And next point is the abolition of feudalism. And next one is the abolition of serfdom. The abolition of serfdom. These are the points. Okay. One question. How could make state power more effective and strong? Or the moderation could in fact strengthen traditional institutions like the monarchy. How? ಇದರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡರ್ನೇಷನ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಮೊನಾರ್ಕಿಯನ್ನು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಮೊನಾರ್ಕಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮನ್ನು? ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಒನ್, ಇಫ್ ದ modernization of modern army. They wanted modern army, not old army. They wanted modern army. And second one is an efficient bureaucracy. Bureaucracy, which means the classes of officials. The classes of officials. Okay, na? And next, bureaucracy, a system of government in which most of the important decisions are taken by state officials. They wanted dynamic they wanted efficient bureaucracy, and next they wanted dynamic economy. They did not want stagnant economy. They wanted dynamic economy. And next, the abolition of feudalism. The abolition of feudalism, the abolition of feudalism, the abolition of serfdom. These are all the points they could strengthen the traditional institution like monarchy system. How? The point number one, they wanted to implement modern army. They wanted to use an efficient bureaucracy, a dynamic economy, the abolition of feudalism and serfdom to strengthen the autonomic monarchies of Europe. Okay, these are the points very important. That means monarchy system ane ittukondu, if we keep the monarchy system, how do we strengthen the people? If we give the modern army, if we provide the modern army, people could not protest against the government. If we provide an efficient bureaucracy, there was no incorruption way, there was no corrupted. The people, they did not protest against the government. And next, a dynamic economy means always economy has to move ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. They did not want stagnant economy. The abolition of feudalism. Feudalism is one of the social evil which was practiced in the middle age of Europe. Okay, the abolition of feudalism. And next, serfdom. The abolition of serfdom. These are all the reasons to make monarchy system to better for people. And next, in 1815, a representative of European powers. Who are the European powers? Britain, Russia, Prussia, Austria, who had defeated Napoleon, met at Vienna to draw up settlement for Europe. Vienna dalli kaltru 1815 alli all members who gathered in Vienna in 1815. This was popularly known as the Congress of Vienna. It was led by, the Congress was hosted by the Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich, who was the president of, Austria. He was the president of Austria. This Vienna Congress, which was led by the Metternich, he was the president of Austria. The delegates drew up the Treaty of Vienna 1815 with the object of undoing most of the. Next question is, what were the major aims of, what was the major object of Vienna Congress of 1815? The point number 1, undoing most of the changes that had come about in Europe during the Napoleon Wars. Napoleon waged so many wars. Napoleon attacked against the Italy and conquered Italy. And he changed so many changes which was made by Napoleon in Italy. They wanted to change it, undoing most of the changes that had come about in doing the Napoleon. One more question. What was the major object of Vienna Congress? Undoing most of the changes that had come about in Europe during the Napoleon Wars. They had to change in undoing most of the changes. And next one is, what were the decision was taken by the representative of Europeans in Vienna Congress? The first decision is, the Bourbon dynasty, which had been deposed during the French Revolution, was restored to power. Point number 1, Bourbon dynasty, which was ruled by Louis XVI, he was one of the misadministrator. He was dethroned and executed in the year of 1793. And next again Louis XVIII had to restore to power. Then again they wanted to restore the monarchy system. And next one is, France lost the territories it had annexed under Napoleon. France lost the territories it had annexed under Napoleon. Whatever the place which was merged into the France annexed by Napoleon. Napoleon attack madikanda. And next, a series of states were set up on the boundaries of France to prevent French expansion in the future. A series of the states, just you have to imagine, this is France. Just you have to imagine, this is France. This is France. All the territories, there are number of territories which was merged by the Napoleon. Next point is, a series of states were set up on the boundaries of France. Why did he set up? Why did they set up? Because to prevent French expansion in future. Future alli matte expansion ಮಾಡಬಾರದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. Thus the kingdom of the Netherlands, which included Belgium, was set up in the north. Note here, the Belgium, which included in Netherlands, was set up in the north. North alli ಏನನ್ನಿಟ್ರು? Netherlands ಅನ್ನು ಇಟ್ರು. ಯಾದನ್ನ ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ರು? The Netherlands, which included Belgium, was set up in the north, and Geneva was added to Piedmont in the south. Geneva added into Piedmont in the south. Okay, Geneva added into Piedmont in the south. And next one is, Prussia was given important new territories on its western frontiers. Here is the next one is next one is, Prussia was given important new territories on its western frontiers. Prussia is one of the state of German state. It was one of the always wanted to become freedom. Prussia, one and only country, one and only state in German, was given important new territories on western frontiers. Western, here is the next, this side Prussia, western side. And next one is, next Austria was given control the northern Italy. Here is the Austria, it was controlled over the northern Italy. Next point, the first point, Netherlands, which included Belgium, was set up in the north. And next one is, Geneva was added to Piedmont in the south. Prussia was given important new territories on its western frontiers, while Austria was given control over the northern Italy. German Confederation of 39 states that had been set up by Napoleon was left untouched. But they did not touch German Confederation, which was made by Napoleon. Napoleon ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದ 360 converted into 39. It was not touched by them. Okay. And next, in the east, Russia was given part of Poland. Poland in the east Poland, it was added to Russia. Russia na Poland ಗೆ ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ರು. Okay na? And next one is, just you make a point, Prussia was given to portion of Saxony. Prussia. Here is the Prussia. Saxony, it added into Prussia. The main intention was to, here these are the decision according to what were the kingdom set up around the French. The first one is Belgium included Netherlands in the north, and next Austria in the Italian countries, and next Geneva. Next one is Geneva added Piedmont in the south. These are all set up around the France countries. Okay, in order to control the extend empire in the future, extend their territories in the future. And next one is conservative regime set up 1815 were autocratic. Autocratic, which means auto start. You know that. Okay, auto start. Bike auto start means they did not care about the people. They did not means autocratic. They did not tolerant. Okay, next point is conservative regime set up in 1851. 1815, they were designing autocratic. What were the next? This is the concept name. What were the characteristics of conservatives? The first one is they were autocratic. They were autocratic. ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾರ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. And next one is they did not tolerate. They did not tolerate. And next one is and criticism. And next one is dissent. Means what were the characteristics of conservatives? First, they were autocratic. They did not care about the people. They did not tolerate andre sahistarilla yadakke criticism. The people should not criticism about the government. Dissent and sought to curb activities that questioned the legitimacy of autocratic governments. Sought to curb activities, curb andre suppress the activities that questioned the legitimacy of autocratic governments. The people, though, if anybody people who questioned against the government, they were not tolerate on these things. And most of them imposed censorship, which means laws to control was the said in the newspaper. Imposed censorship laws, which means the people, they did not write, they could not write about the government in the books, plays and songs reflected the ideas of liberty and freedom. By this way, they restricted the liberty and freedom. This was one of the point. And next one is the associated with the French Revolution. The memory of the French Revolution nonetheless continued, inspired liberals. One of the major issues taken up by liberal nationalists who criticized the new conservative orders was freedom of press. Associated with the French Revolution, the memory of the French Revolution nonetheless continued to inspire liberals. Even though these are all the autocratics, they were autocratic. Next, and next the people could not criticism about the government, dissent about the government, and the censorship was imposed. These are all the rules and regulations were there, even though associated with the French Revolution, the memory of the French Revolution, unless continue inspire liberals. One of the major issues taken up by the liberal nationalists who criticized the government, new conservatives. Criticize ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಯಾಕೆ? You were not providing the liberty, you were not providing to express their values, you were not providing sense, you were not providing reflected the ideas of liberty and freedom. That's why I always opposed the conservatism and freedom of press. This is what we have discussed. The first one is the modernization could in fact strengthen the traditional institution like the monarchy. It could make state power more effective and strong. How? A modern army, an efficient bureaucracy, dynamic economy, the abolition of feudalism and serfdom. And next, what was the major object of the Treaty of Vienna in 1815? Undoing most of the changes that had come about in Europe during the Napoleon Wars. What were the decisions taken by conservatism in Treaty of Vienna in 1815? The Bourbon dynasty, which had been deposed during the French Revolution, was restored to power. Second, France lost the territories it had annexed under Napoleon. Third, a series of states were set up on the boundaries of France to prevent French expansion in future. These are the three decisions were taken by conservatism in Treaty of Vienna in 1815. And next, what were the states set up the boundaries of France? The north, Netherlands, which included Belgium, and next in the south, Geneva was added to Piedmont, and next in the west, Prussia, and next in the northern Italy, Austria, and next German Confederation, 39 states they did not touch, and next Russia, Poland, Prussia के Saxony bantu. These are all. Next point, what were the characteristics of conservatives? They were autocratic, they did not tolerate criticism and dissent, they sought to curb activities that questioned the legitimacy of autocratic government, they imposed censorship laws to control and newspapers, books, plays, songs, and reflected the ideas of liberty and freedom. Okay. Next one is the revolutionaries. The revolutionaries. During the years of 1815, the fear repression drove many liberal nationalists underground. The fear repression, which means Dabbalike, drove during the following years of 1815, the Vienna Congress, they had taken many decisions. The fear repression, Dabbalike, drove many liberal nationalists. They went to underground, which means smuggling, the moving of weapon from one place to another place, gun, these are all underground activities. Secret societies sprang up in many European states to train revolutionaries and spread their ideas. To be revolutionary at this time meant a commitment to oppose monarchical forms. Okay, next, secret societies sprang up. There were a number of secret societies sprang up when they entered into the underground activities. And many European states trained revolutionary. What was the main aim of these secret associations? They wanted to train revolutionaries and spread their ideas. What were their ideas? Liberty, freedom, fraternity. These are ideas were spread by nationalists. And next, what were the aims and the commitment of these revolutionaries? Point number 1, a commitment to oppose monarchical forms. They were always opposing monarchical forms. They were always opposing monarchical forms that had established the Vienna Congress. Again, in the as we discussed in the last last para, Vienna Congress, again they had established monarchy system. They had established monarchy system. This was opposed by these revolutionaries. And next point is to fight the liberty and freedom. They wanted to fight. What were the major aims of revolutionaries and commitment of revolutionaries? A commitment to oppose monarchical forms. Second, they had to fight for freedom and liberty. Most of these revolutionaries saw a creation of nation states. What were the three demands? The first one is commitment of oppose monarchical form, to oppose monarchical form, and next one is oppose monarchical forms, and next one is fight for liberty and freedom. Fight for liberty and freedom. Fight for liberty and freedom. And next one is the creation of nation states. The creation of nation states. Just you have to understand like this. Okay. The concept name is first. What were the major aims and commitment of revolutionaries? The first one is commitment to oppose monarchical forms. Next, they had to fight for liberty and freedom. And next, they were having to create the nation states. Nation states, which means the nation states which did not come. Nation states which means forged through struggles. Nation states, there was no monarchy system, there was a people government. Okay, and next one such individual was the Italian revolutionist Joseph Mazzini. Okay, write about Joseph Mazzini. The first one is one of the Italian revolutionary Joseph Mazzini, born in Geneva in 1807. Point number one, born in Geneva, which means Geneva was located in Italy. 1807 he was born. He became the member of secret society of Carbonari. He became there are a number of secret societies, secret associations formed. One of them Carbonari. He became the member of secret society of the Carbonari. As a young man of 24, he was sent into exile in 1831 for attempting revolutionary in Liguria. ಅಂದರೆ ಲಗುರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ರೆವಲ್ಯೂಷನರಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿಂದ he was exiled by the government. Exiled ಅಂದರೆ ಅವನನ್ನು ಹೊರಗಾಕಿದ್ರು. In the year of 24 age, young man of 24, he was sent into exile in 1831 for attempting the revolution in Liguria. He subsequently founded two more underground societies. First one is, what were the two more underground societies established by Joseph Mazzini? First, Young Italy in Marseilles. Marseilles is the province of France. And then Young Europe in Barne, whose members were like-minded young men from Poland, who are the members who entered in these Young Italy. And next one is Young Italy and Young Europe. The first one is Poland young people, France, Italy and German states. These are all the members, those who had entered into Young Italy and Young Europe. And next, Italy and German states. Mazzini believed that God intended nations to be the natural units of mankind. Mazzini ನಂಬಿದ್ದೇನೋ, God had intended intentionally nations to be the natural units of mankind. ಹುಟ್ಟಿತಲೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ nations ಬಂದಿದೆ. There was no patchwork. So Italy could not continue to be a patchwork of small states and kingdom. It was a patchwork of many dynasties. Some parts was ruled by Habsburg dynasty. Some parts were ruled by France. According to him, the God had intended intentionally nations to be naturally units of mankind. So Italy could not continue to be a patchwork of small states and kingdom. It had to be forged into a single unified republic. It had to be single unified republic states, had to be republic states within a wider alliance of the nations, all the nations, ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ nations ಇಂದ ಅದೇನಾಗಬೇಕು ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್. It had to be become republic states. The unification alone could be basis of Italian liberty. Following is model, secret societies were set up in Germany, France, Switzerland and Poland. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಮತ್ತೆ this unification alone could be the basis, ಒಂದೇ ಥರ ಇದ್ದು ಅದೊಂದು ಅಲೋನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು basis of Italian liberty. This is one of the one and only which unity, the young Italy, which was led by Joseph Mazzini. This unification alone could be the basis of Italian liberty. The basis of Italian liberty ಅಂದರೆ ಇದು ಇಟಾಲಿಯನ್ ಲಿಬರ್ಟಿಯನ್ನು ಬಯಸ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. Following is model, secret societies were set up in Germany. Secret societies were set up in following this France, Switzerland and Poland. Mazzini's relentless opposition to monarchy and his own vision to democratic republics frightened the conservatives. Mazzini's relentless opposition to monarchy, the system of opposition of monarchy which was made by Mazzini, vision of democratic republics. What was the major aim? What was the major aim of Joseph Mazzini? The first one is opposition of monarchy, vision of democratic republic, frightened the conservatives. ಅಂದರೆ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಟಿವ್ ಭಾಳ ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ಆಯಿತು. Metternich described him as the most dangerous enemy of our social order. Who was the most dangerous enemy of social order? Joseph Mazzini. According to who said this statement? Metternich. Who was Metternich? He was the president of Austria. He was one of the most terror administrator. Okay. What we have discussed 2.4, the revolutionaries. What were the major aims and commitments of revolutionaries? And second one is write about Joseph Mazzini. Okay. These are all we have discussed in the first one is a conservative after 1815. Next we have discussed the revolutionaries and their aims and their commitment. And next what was the role of Joseph Mazzini and how did he develop nationalism among the Italian countries, by the way of he founded Young Italy and Young Europe bar name. Okay. And next members like-minded young from Poland, they were added into these associations. Like this he developed nationalism among the European countries. Okay. Thank you.